Welcome back to Banging the Can, the Houston sports podcast that does not apologize for championship rings and tings, presented by Bolen Media. I am your host, Ross Bolen. 0-2-1, huh? I tried to tell you, Texans fans, lower the expectations. It's for your own good. For your own good. When there is a spark to get excited about, I will admit it. I will bask in its warmth with you. But until then, my ass remains planted firmly in this seat of judgment from which I will continue to declare this franchise a total and utter dumpster fire. We just don't have spark. We don't have gumption. We don't look inspired. We don't look that bad. I've seen teams that look worse than us. But good Lord, it's exactly what I expected, honestly. Like 0-2-1 is the most Texans start possible. And I mean, we're up against the Chargers this weekend where we're a 6-point underdog. Chargers -6 is what I'm seeing currently. So, I mean, it's like, what do you get excited about? What do you get excited about? Davis Mills has looked relatively mediocre. He's made some very unfortunate decisions at the end of some games and cost us dearly. I mean, he hasn't been what I hoped he would be. Like, you want to see him take a step, right? Like, make a jump from one season to the next. But also game to game, you're looking for the little things that get you excited. Oh, okay, now he's doing this. Now he's doing that. Now he's look at him make that. Look at him make that pass that we've never seen him make before. And that's the kind of thing I'm not seeing. So instead of being excited in any way, I mean, I at least thought Davis Mills would be an interesting thing to watch this season in terms of his development, and now I'm just like, ugh, God, can anything with this football team? I mean, there's just nobody to be afraid of. There's nobody on our offense that the defense looks at and goes, that guy is a problem. And even if you wanted to argue Brandon Cooks, then one dude. They got to worry about one dude. Which I wouldn't argue Brandon Cooks right now. He hasn't really been that guy. So I don't really know. I mean, I'm just going to keep myself where I am, I guess, and not change how I feel about the team. We just don't have much to be pumped for. It is what it is. This is life as a Texans fan. We've become accustomed to it at this point, hopefully. But it's like, I mean, even with my preseason attitude of, all right, we're going to stink again. All these people talking about, well, the Texans are going to be sneaky good. They're just trying to break my heart. And I know better, and I've seen this before. And even knowing all that, I still feel a little sad on Sundays when I have to tune in and watch them. Like, do you know that fake punt? I went, all right, Lovey. All right, Lovey. Fake punt. Show a little sack. I like that. We immediately shit the bed. Game over. We lose. I mean, it's just like, even when there is a little something, and that's the only little something I really saw that whole game that gave me any hope. I'm just out of emotional space for this team. It's cost me so much over the years that I won't give it back. I won't give them anymore. Not until they earn it. And I want to see something, man. Just one of these games. Maybe it'll be against the Chargers. Who knows? The NFL is weird. You never know when a team is going to take a step or look really different than they did the week before. Like a totally different football team. And that's the other thing that keeps me on the hook, is knowing how the NFL works. Knowing how the NFL season works. And it's been extended, so it's even different now, right? And a lot of things about the way this league operates have changed over the last several years in terms of preseason and how much they can do and can't do. And it's going to be an interesting ride the rest of the way as a Texans fan. I can tell you that. It's not good for Davis Mills that I'm already seeing people have the conversation about whether he should get the rest of the season or not. And I'm seeing the argument that, of course, he should get the rest of the season. And I'm like, I don't really know how you stand firmly in either camp. Arguing adamantly that he should be replaced is hilarious because with who? And arguing adamantly that he should get the rest of the season is hilarious because why? Like, what has he done that's made you feel that way? Like, I haven't seen much that's made me like, all right, Davis has at least earned a season. He was a rookie last year. He's done jack shit this year. And in terms of earning, look, man, the NFL, you got to move quick. I'll put it in these terms. Do you remember J.J. Watt? You remember how the whole time we had J.J., we kept hoping we'd get a quarterback so the team would be competent? Just like that, J.J. was there and gone. His whole fucking career flashed before our eyes, and nothing happened because we never got a quarterback. And that, my friends, is called urgency. And that is why we have urgency around the quarterback position. Because if you don't, and you assemble other good players around a quarterback that stinks, nothing happens. And then you waste talent and years of your franchise and potential, and you just slip into mediocrity forever. And that's where we are, and I don't want to continue to do that. So yes, we should be questioning whether or not Davis Mills should get the rest of the season. We should be questioning everything every week at this point. We have not won a football game. We have managed to tie a football game. And we're a 6-point dog this weekend, which is like, I've noticed this year, the NFL, there have been less insane spreads than usual, large spreads than usual. So games are staying within 10 points for the most part. I haven't checked all of the lines for this weekend, but our game being 6 points is right around where, a lot of these games have been through the first 3 weeks. And, I'm not betting that. We keep keeping it close and covering. I probably should bet it, but I don't trust this team. I don't trust them with my emotions. I don't trust them with my money. I'm hoping for weeks that I see obvious spreads that I go, I know we're not covering that shit. That's what I'm looking for. And 6 doesn't really feel like 1, but I'm just not betting. Maybe on the over-under. What's the over-under? Let's see. 45. And it's at home. We're at home. We're home dogs. +6. I'm talking myself into it here. Let's do this. All right, I'm taking +6 for sure. Home dogs, over-under 45. I'm taking the over. So just like that, it's Texans +6 and over 45 for me. But I'll say this. Here is just an overall snapshot of where the Texans are at so far this season, okay? Go to your local Houston Chronicle newspaper and go to the sports section and check out the breakdown of Astros to Rockets to Texans coverage currently in week 4 of the NFL season here, with week 4 about to happen. It's Thursday, September 30th, or Friday, September 30th. I don't even know what fucking day it is. It's Friday, September 30th. It's crazy. It's really wild. The Texans shit is it's very low in terms of how many people they're devoting to covering the team right now on the website, at least. Don't get the Chronicle here, and I'll check it out when I get to my mom's later this afternoon. I'm coming into Houston this week, and I'm very excited. I don't know if we're going to be able to make a game or anything, but because I got to get back pretty early Sunday to work Sunday night, unfortunately. But the point is, the Texans are in a bad spot. Things haven't gone particularly well. We are yet to win. It doesn't look like we will this weekend. Davis Mills hasn't shown much, and there hasn't been a lot of spark to be excited about. So I'm hoping things turn around. I'm not rooting against the team. I'm just trying to stay realistic with where I'm at and with where I'm at with y'all, because it's like, look, if you don't hold the team accountable for being shitty, there's not much motivation for them to get better or for Cal to improve the team, for ownership to improve the team. What I'm saying is I'm a hero. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. This is an important sponsor for all Texans fans out there, okay? Mental health is obviously very important. It's very important in the sports world. Think about how many athletes, even Astros players, have utilized sports psychology and psychiatry to get their heads right for so that they can pitch well, so that they can play well. Obviously, it's become a much bigger focus in the sports world over the last 10 years or so. Got to stay focused. Got to be able to get in the zone. And more athletes are speaking out about the importance of mental health. But you don't have to be a pro to want to be at the top of your game, obviously. Everyone needs to take care of their mental well-being, whether you're an athlete or not. And therapy is the best way, therapy, to stay in peak mental shape. I've been in therapy for like a decade now. And without it, frankly, I don't think I would be doing this show or have my job or my company or be anywhere near where I'm at in life, because it is an essential tool for me in my tool belt, ensuring that I can handle whatever the fucking insane life roller coaster throws my way. And the last few years, honestly, were a pretty big beating. It was an exhausting experience. So therapy helped me not only maintain, but thrive and grow through the chaos. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option and a great sponsor of our show here. So Can Bangers, it's convenient, accessible, affordable, entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime. Don't have to go into any office. Don't have to do anything you don't want to do. When you're ready to feel at the top of your mental health game, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/BTC today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com. betterhelp.com/BTC, as in banging the can. So we are about to enter what is my favorite, absolute favorite time of year. The NBA preseason is starting tonight, and we've got the NFL, we've got college football, we've got Major League Baseball going into October, playoff ready, and we've got the NBA starting up. It is the ultimate, not only sports viewing, but sports betting time of the year, and I absolutely love it for that reason. There's never a night where there's not a game on between the Astros, the Rockets, and the Texans for me to watch, as bad as the Texans may or may not be. God, losing on a game-ending field goal after an interception is just... To the Bears. The Bears stink. I was betting on the Bears, and Bears fans were like, dude, don't bet on the Bears. We suck. We're the worst this year. The Texans look better and feistier than us. And then look what happened. We were still more lowly. It's Bears fans trying to keep it real with themselves, and we were worse than that. Ugh. But the NBA preseason is starting. Exciting stuff. There was a weird trade the Rockets executed. We acquired a 2025 draft pick in this weird 8-player trade with the Thunder last night. So we sent David Nwabe, Sterling Brown, Marquise Chris, and Trey Burke. None of them were in our regular rotation, are going to be on our regular rotation this season, apparently. And of the 4 players coming to Houston, according to the Chronicle, only Derek Favors projects to earn any notable share of minutes in 2022-2023. So we got Derek Favors out of this weird situation. It seems like it's related to salary cap mostly. I hate trades like this. But this one, having 8 players involved, just feels particularly unusual to me. I did see one of my favorite reporters, Julia Morales, went and interviewed the Astros and found out how they change up their uniform choices. And apparently, she said that's pretty much a set uniform on certain days of the week. If you're a fan, you've caught on to that. They wear white at home. They have the orange tops they wear on Fridays, the navy tops they wear on Sundays with the rainbows on the side. On the road, they use gray. So I have been curious watching the Astros games. Like, they've used so many different mixing and matching of the uniform. In fact, one of the games I was watching, they said the starting pitcher got to choose the pants, and they looked like dog shit. They were the Space City jerseys, but whoever it was chose the gray pants. I think it was Javier. And I was like, what the fuck? It didn't look good compared to with the white pants. Anyway, interesting that Morales did note one exception to the team's typical jersey schedule. Starting pitcher Framber Valdez appears to be a touch particular about his jerseys, preferring the navy threads due to their light weight. Oh, so he got approval to use navy jerseys during his starts, according to Morales. And apparently that's working as he leads the American League in innings pitched. So yeah, you kind of can't say no to that guy at all. I mean, it's funny, man. Some guys are so superstitious. Pitchers in particular, also catchers, but they're like real weird with it. Real weirdos out there. But yeah, it was Valdez. It was Framber. And one night he picked gray pants with the navies. And I was like, what? It didn't look good. I get the idea. Navy and gray particularly usually goes fairly well together. But the Space City design with gray pants did not look good. And not to harp on, like, I'm wearing a gray Houston Rockets Stevie Franchise jersey today, just coincidentally. But yeah, it didn't look good. I'm not wearing gray pants. I would note. I'm also not wearing navy pants. So my outfit's not relevant. I'm not sure why I'm bringing it up. I just wanted y'all to know what I was wearing, I guess. That's what's happened. But yeah, the Astros, to take it from the Rockets, obviously getting started. They're looking forward to seeing how they further develop the team. I think Steven, okay, let's do this correctly this year. Silas? Now I don't know which one it is because I've said both so many different times but Coach, we'll just call him Coach. He's been opening up more. I did see some coverage in the Chronicle about this, about his experience the first couple years, or what his rookie season was like, and how obviously not fun it was, and what it was like to come into a situation where you thought you might be coaching hard and then you didn't, and then having to pick all these different, obviously high-pressure draft picks. And I'm happy to see him doing that. I feel like you have to be realistic with the media about your situation as a coach to really be able to connect with the fan base. And regardless of if our teams are doing well or not, I have more fun when I like our coaches and when they handle the media well. And I have to hand it to Lovey. He's done that. The Texans coach, Lovey Smith. He's been a good media guy. And I've enjoyed watching him interact with the Houston media. I like Lovey. I'm a fan of him. And as such, I'm rooting for the team almost solely for that purpose at this point. But when it comes to the Texans, I've never really known how to feel about Coach. I'm like, I realize he's put in a shitty situation, but I also saw moments where I was like, ooh. I know a coach is fucking up when I agree with Rockets Twitter. Like when Rockets Twitter has a take that I'm like, oh man, that's accurate. Like that's a problem. If Rockets Twitter is able to pick out strategic errors in your coaching system, we've got something has gone awry. And that's kind of how I felt about Coach last year. It was just like, I don't expect much, but also we do want to limit the amount of mistakes. But he's also learning too. There's a huge learning curve, man, to be a head coach versus an assistant. And it's a big jump. You gotta really, be willing to continue to learn as a man. And in a situation where he's a really young guy, like for a coach. So it's difficult to get the respect of your team and players and connect with them on a level that you can still maintain authority, but also keep that balance with these young superstar multimillionaire athletes. It's a challenging job. That's one thing. Like you sit there and judge these coaches like, oh, these guys don't do much. Yeah, it is a challenging job, bro. Like you have to, it's management at a very, very difficult scale. Like you're managing a team, right? Like so you're a middle management level in the corporate world, that size team. But all of them are much, much wealthier than you. Like, how do you navigate that? It's one of the biggest challenges of professional sports coaching, in my opinion. And one of the most interesting things about it is that these coaches don't have any leverage. Like, when you play high school and when you play college ball, like, you feel beholden to your coaches. You feel they could get you cut at any moment. You could not play, no playing time. Like, they have a ton of leverage over you. I don't know that it feels that way for a lot of these professional athletes. So, and you have so much more money than them. When you're a kid and they're adults, there's this difference, and like it's not so much that way, especially with like Coach, like I'm saying, Steven, he's young, man. So it's just one of the things I'm going to watch for the Rockets this year. Like, how does he develop further as a coach? How do the players respond to him? And do we take steps forward similarly to what I'm looking for with the Texans, right? They're both in rebuilding phases. And in the rebuilding phases, that's what you look for. You want to look for growth. You want to look for both strategically and on all the different sides of the ball, right? Like it's like offense, defense, in the case of the NFL, special teams. Like you want to see steps taken that show you progress is being made from this shitty place you've been. And in the case of the Texans, that's hard to find. In the case of the Rockets, it's not so difficult. And these guys are super, super young, the Rockets team. It's not really a thing you can say about the Texans on the whole. While Davis Mills is quite young, he's also quite stinky. So I don't know how you defend him right now. But we're still blessed as a city. I'll say that. I mean, it's so nice to have 3 teams to watch right now, starting tonight with the Rockets preseason. And to have at least one of them be competing for a championship is something I will never, ever, 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 ever take for granted again. But because it was just like it was a weird stretch there as a Houston sports fan between my childhood and now where I'm in my 30s and the Astros are competing for World Series every year. Where it was just like, are we ever going to get another ring? Are we ever going to get another trophy? Are we ever going to be relevant or competitive or get a quarterback or have Harden take the next step or get a guy to replace him or like what the fuck? And with the Astros, it was just like, well, how long is the rebuild going to take? And we found out quickly after a few years there that it wasn't going to take as long as perhaps some people thought. And we've been quite good ever since. So we should feel good together is what I'm saying. We're in a good spot. The Texans might suck ass, and there might not be much to be excited about there, but everywhere else there is. And look, it's the last day of September. October is upon us. All right, we're doing this. The playoffs are coming, and Verlander is having a career year as an old man. What do we play? Tampa again tonight. Series at home against Tampa, perhaps this weekend. Shit, I may have to try to go tomorrow night. I don't really know. I don't remember what I'm going to Houston for. I so I don't know what my plans are. But I will be there this weekend. I'm excited. It's always nice. Like I'm even just driving in, like breathing in the humidity. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this is home, baby. I'm serious. I'm not even exaggerating. Like there's something about it that I love. Anyway, shouts, and by the way, be thinking about everybody and praying for everybody on the coast. I know Florida has already been hit, and now one of the Carolinas is getting hit by that hurricane. We know how hurricane shit goes. If you've got friends, family there, or any way to help out or donate money or your time or energy or effort to the recovery, obviously do that. Follow us on social media. We are on TikTok at Banging the Can, on Instagram and Twitter as well. I am Ross Bolen. You can follow me at WR Bolen on Twitter and Instagram. Go to bolenmedia.com to check out my small business run out of Austin, Texas, and our other podcasts, including if you're into sports, you're here, obviously, for that reason, I think, then you might love F1, and we have an F1 show run by my co-host on the Ross Bolen podcast named Jared Borislow. The show is called Formula Bone F1 Show, Formula Bone with a B in front of the one. Formula Bone. He goes by J-Bone. It's available wherever you listen to Banging the Can. And it's a nice mix of, I think there's a lot of very seasoned F1 fans who enjoy it, and then a lot of newer fans who were brought in by Drive to Survive and stuff as well. He has a huge, 180,000 followers on TikTok, 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. So check out Formula Bone F1 Show wherever you listen to Banging the Can. And like I said, bolenmedia.com/shop to get yourself some Banging the Can merch. All of our episodes are available in full on YouTube, by the way. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up? What's good? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And please tell your Houston friends and family about Banging the Can, what we're doing here. Like I said, I've been doing all this House of the Dragon coverage. It's like our biggest opportunity for our small company here that we have. House of the Dragon, the new Game of Thrones show. We have a huge podcast for it called Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. That winds down in a few weeks. Coverage for all of our Astros playoff stuff, and obviously Rockets basketball is going to pick up here on Banging the Can, so I promise you'll be getting more podcasts out of me in the near future. Until then, holler at me on social media, and stay down. H-Town.